everyone. My name is Damian Isaac. Welcome to Health Facts program today. And
Fever is a high temperature when the body's temperature rises above 37.5 Celsius or 99.5 Fahrenheit.
our topic this time around is going to be about sweating, excessive sweating. Everyone sweats. It is a normal response by the body to increase body temperature. So, what is it that we want to talk about sweating today? There are some abnormalities that are associated with sweating. And today we are going to see why do some people have excessive sweating and when, and probably we give some ways in which someone may prevent this excessive sweating. Sweating simply means loss of water from the sweat glands, basically in our skin. It is also called perspiration. It is a normal response in which the body is able to regulate its body temperature. And that process is called thermal regulation, homeostasis. The body has to maintain its temperature between 37 degrees, which is normal. So whenever there is increased body temperature, the body will cause sweating, and as the water evaporates from your skin, there is latent heat of vaporization that causes the body to cool down back to its normal temperature. Sweat is formed from the sweat glands, and it undergoes a process of secretion. And these secretions mean that there are ions which are lost. Sweat is not just water, but there are other ions, or which we can simply call electrolytes, that are associated in sweat. That's why when you taste it, most times your sweat is salty. Excessive sweating is caused by various disorders. And amongst them, there is anxiety. When someone is anxious about something, there is alcoholism, which is basically chronic and can be associated with alcohol withdrawal. There is also thyrotoxicosis, when someone is having over-secretion of thyroid hormones that cause them to oversweat. It is also common with disorders like diabetes mellitus, commonly known as sukari in our local language. Excessive sweating may also be associated with drug abuse and drug dependence. In cases of withdrawal, when someone is not getting their drugs, may end up having excessive sweating. However, there are some postulates that have been out that there are people who have excessive sweating and the cause is not known. It is medically, we call it idiopathic, but it is being pointed to genetics, that probably it is in their genes.
The normal body temperature is between 36 Celsius to 37 Celsius or 96.8 Fahrenheit to 98.6 Fahrenheit. The high temperature or fever often lasts around 2 or 3 days.
However, the above disorders that I've just mentioned cause excessive sweating in absence of a high body temperature. Excessive sweating can also happen when there is increased body temperature in cases of a fever, and they may also happen at night, and these ones are called drenching night sweats. And if they are recurrent, then you should visit your doctor, especially if they are associated with evening fevers, drenching night sweats when you're sleeping, and cough. You have to visit your doctor to ascertain other conditions that could be causing that excessive sweating in the night, and it could be TB, it could be malignancies like lymphomas, and the above symptoms are called B symptoms. However, if someone has excessive sweating, it simply means that they are losing a lot of water, they are losing a lot of ions. People with excessive sweating usually lose a lot of water in the sweat, and they also lose a lot of electrolytes in their sweat because, like I've said, in sweat formation there is secretion of electrolytes, which are simply called ions. So they will present with symptoms like thirst, and therefore they will take a lot of water in order to replenish a lot of water they have lost in their sweat. These people may also come with dry lips. They may also come with headaches because of the dehydration that they suffer after excessive sweating. So if we present with excessive sweating, you may come up with symptoms like excessive thirst, which necessitates you to take a lot of water simply because your body wants to replenish a lot of water you lose in your sweat. You may also present with headaches, which are coming from the dehydration that you're suffering as a result of excessive sweating, and you may also present with dry lips because of the dehydration that you're suffering as a result of excessive water loss. You may also present with electrolyte imbalances if your sweating is excessive and nothing is done about the salts that you're losing in the body. And if you can't be able to replace them in the meals that you eat, then you're liable to get electrolyte imbalances simply because you're having excessive sweating. And that necessitates that you visit a doctor such that something is done about your problem.
A fever is usually a symptom of an underlying condition, typically a bacteria or viral infection. But many experts believe that fever is a natural bodily defense against infection, and there are also many non-infectious causes of fever, such as drug interactions and vascular problems.
How can one try to prevent this excessive sweating? Excessive sweating can be prevented, especially if you know what is causing it. If you're having diabetes, make sure that your diabetes is controlled. If you're having thyrotoxicosis, when you're having raging amounts of thyroid hormones, make sure that you visit an endocrinologist to sort your problem. If you're having problems like anxiety, please make sure that you're always in the right modes. You can also use air conditioning to regulate the temperatures around you such that you don't mount a lot of heat on your body to cause it to lose a lot of water in order to reduce the heat that is being impacted on it. You can also visit a doctor so that they can replace with fluids that have the electrolytes which you have lost in your excessive sweating. That is very important because it replenishes the imbalance of electrolytes that you have suffered as a result of excessive sweating, such that in order not to suffer from the effects of the imbalanced electrolytes that may present in the near future.
Whenever you're sick, you want to stay well hydrated, drink a lot of water, and decaffeinated tea throughout the day, and whether you have the flu, or a cold, or a fever, you will feel better.
We have talked about excessive sweating, what causes it, the common disorders that present with excessive sweating, which included anxiety, uncontrolled diabetes, thyrotoxicosis, alcohol use, substance abuse, withdrawal syndromes if someone is dependent on drugs, and many other causes including the genetic. Therefore, if you know that you're having excessive sweating and probably you're feeling that you can even hear your heartbeat, then make sure that you visit a doctor to find out, could you be having any of those problems that we have mentioned, for which you can receive the medications and then the excessive sweating will be managed completely. Thank you so much for being part of this today. I'm Damuya Isaac. See you next time.
Nutritional deficiencies, stress, anxiety and poor circulation can trigger excessive sweating. People with diabetes, heart problems, obesity and hyperthyroidism are more prone to it. Usually, we produce sweat during the workout or in warm environments. But people suffering from excessive sweating often sweat more than normal, regardless of any physical need for it. Not only can it be embarrassing, with sweat from the underarms soaking through clothes and causing obvious sweat marks, but all of that excess sweating can interfere with everyday activities. If your hands are sweaty, it can be hard to type on a computer or turn a doorknob, and, as the skin is wet so often, it creates prime conditions for a skin infection to develop. Besides being uncomfortable, excessive sweating can disrupt your routine life. Instead of depending on medicinal treatments, you can opt for natural remedies to treat the problem at home. Natural home remedies for excessive sweating include apple cider vinegar, lemon, black tea, potato and many others mentioned below, which will help you get relief fast and without any side effect. Natural vinegar. Intake of 2 teaspoons of natural vinegar and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar thrice in a day is an excellent remedy to cure the excessive sweating. Take this mixture on an empty stomach half an hour after or before the meal. Tomato juice. Every day drink a glass of fresh tomato juice made at home to get rid of the problem of excessive sweating. You can use daily tomato in your veggies and salads for fast recovery. Herbal tea. Sage tea has proven to be a great remedy to cure the troubles of excessive sweating. Brew some sage herbs in warm water and let them cool. Drink this every day as sage is rich in magnesium and vitamin B, which reduces the activities of sweat glands. This remedy is especially meant for stopping excessive sweating in the underarms. Green tea is equally effective if you do not get sage herbs easily. Lemon. Lemon is another effective remedy to control sweating. It has citric acid that eliminates the bacteria, and its pleasant fragrance makes it as a natural deodorant. Do not step into the sun after using this method, so the best time is to apply is at night. Mix 1 teaspoon each of lemon juice and baking soda in a small bowl. Apply this paste on the armpits thoroughly by using cotton pad. Let it sit for about 20 to 30 minutes and then wash it with water. Continue doing this regularly. Coconut oil. Coconut oil contains lauric acid, which helps to eliminate the bacteria that causes the sweat. It has a light fragrance which will help you feel fresh, however be aware that it will stain clothes. Add 10 grams of crushed camphor to 1 cup of coconut oil. Stir well to make a paste. Apply this on the sweat-prone areas of the body. Massage it for a few minutes and let it sit for about 45 to 60 minutes. Wash it off with water. Repeat regularly. Alternative method: after taking bath, apply enough amounts of organic and cold-pressed coconut oil on the sweat-prone areas. Massage gently until the oil is completely absorbed. Repeat the application daily. Potato. This is the easiest remedy to get rid of too much sweating. Simply cut slices of potato and rub them under your arms and the areas which sweat more. Witch hazel. This herb is a great astringent and antiperspirant, which gently dries up the sweating area. Tea made up of this natural herb can also be used. Cornstarch and baking soda. To get rid of excessive underarm sweating, apply a mix of cornstarch and baking soda under the arms after thoroughly cleaning them. Let it stay for half an hour and wash it off later. You can also add any essential oil as a deodorant into the mixture. Wheatgrass juice. A glass of wheatgrass juice a day is an effective remedy for treating the problem of excessive sweating. Wheatgrass juice neutralizes the acids in the body and is a rich source of vitamin B6, protein, vitamin C, folic acid, and vitamin B12. Aloe vera juice or gel. Aloe vera offers a soothing, cooling effect on the skin and also helps to regulate excessive sweating caused by heat. It can also address issues like sunburn, age spots, fine lines, and rosacea. Simply dip a clean cloth into some aloe vera juice and apply it to affected areas, or dilute 100% natural, cold-pressed aloe vera gel with water, and then apply. Tannic acid. Tea is the prominent source of tannic acid. Steep some tea bags in the boiling water. When the water cools down, immerse your palms in it. This is a superb remedy if you face a lot of perspiration in your palms. Tea tree oil. Thin layers of tea tree oil can be applied to the high perspiring areas. Tea tree oil has natural astringents, which will give you the desired results within a few days of using it. Grapes. Eating grapes every day can soothe out the problem of extreme sweating. It has natural antioxidants and it balances the temperature of the body. Black tea. The tannic acid present in black tea holds astringent and antiperspirant properties. They provide relief from excessive sweating. The astringent property constricts the sweat glands, which controls the sweat flow to outer skin. Black tea contains more tannic acid than normal tea, so it is the best to use. Place 2 black tea bags in 3 cups of hot water. Let it steep for about 10 to 15 minutes. Dip a washcloth in this tea and put this on the underarms or place wet black tea bags on the armpits and hold for a few minutes. Rock salt. Mix a tablespoon of salt with lime juice and massage your hands with this mix. It will decelerate the activities of sweat glands and will cure excessive sweating. White sandalwood. White sandalwood powder is used in Ayurveda to treat or control the sweating. It contains several enzymes that help to absorb the extra moisture from the skin and thus keep the skin dry and fresh. The aromatic fragrance helps to mask the body odor caused by excessive sweating. Mix 1 tablespoon of white sandalwood powder, rose water and a little lemon juice to make a fine paste. Wash the sweat-prone areas with water and pat dry. Apply this paste on those areas and leave it to dry completely. Rinse with warm water. Continue daily till sweating reduces to normal people. Practice yoga. While you might associate yoga with sweating, particularly power yoga moves, yoga is actually one of the best natural ways to control excessive sweating. This ancient discipline that combines breathing and movement helps to harmonize your body and correct any imbalances that can help address the underlying cause of your symptoms, even if you don't know what the cause is yourself. Regular yoga practice is great at inducing an inner calm and emotional stability, which means if your excessive sweating is connected to stress or anxiety, the practice could help immensely in reducing those occasions when you feel stressed. It will also help to reduce the severity of your anxiety when those inevitable stressful situations arise. Yoga is also quite effective for stimulating the digestive system, which is helpful for those that have hyperhidrosis associated with weight problems, a poor diet or food intolerance. There are also certain positions that can encourage the body to flush out toxins, which is beneficial for excessive sweating. Homeopathic medications for excessive sweating. Apart from home treatments, homeopathic remedies are equally beneficial in getting rid of excessive sweating. Consult any homeopathic doctors in your area and have the prescribed medicine for a month and you will find good result. Silicea, Acidum hydrofluoricum, Calcarea, Botulinum are some homeopathic medicine which can cure any worst level of hyperhidrosis. Avoid chemically processed foods. Nearly every health condition is affected by a poor diet. The saying "you are what you eat" is very true. If your diet is based on processed foods, all of those chemical toxins and compounds manufacturers put in foods to make them taste better or preserve them, are going to trigger more sweating. If you're overweight, it compounds that problem. That includes all of those frozen, packaged, pre-made, ready-to-eat, deep-fried, and fast foods should be avoided. Instead, focus on whole foods that come from the earth. This means plenty of fresh fruits like peaches, oranges, cherries, apples, plums, melons and what have you, as well as all types of veggies.
Hello, my name is Isaac Chimbugwe, working with the Uganda Red Cross Society. I'm a first aid instructor. Today we are going to talk about fractures. A fracture is a break or crack in the continuity of the bone. Okay. Fractures can be either simple or compound. Simple when a bone remains inside the body, and compound when the bone comes out of the body. It will tear the skin, you will see bleeding, you will see even the bone out. Okay. Fractures are caused through accidents like road traffic crashes. For example, somebody dropping from a building or playing football and somebody is hurt by an opponent, or sliding while at home on a slippery floor, or moving on the stairs and then somebody will slip. Okay? So fractures are caused by very many different scenarios, and a fracture can happen at any one moment, at any time, at any place. What do you do when somebody has a fracture? Okay. First, stay calm, approach the casualty if the place is safe. If the place is not safe, make sure you take the casualty to a safer place. If it is in the road, please remove the casualty from the road, put him aside. Okay. When you put him aside, make sure if the fracture is compound, you stop the bleeding. You stop the bleeding by applying a pad around the fracture. Don't compress or don't press the pad because the casualty will feel more and more pain. Secondly, you get your splits. Splits can be made out of wood or hard boards, or even soft wood. Okay. Put splits onto a casualty's leg or the arm, any part that is fractured, then bandage the splits firmly but not tight as you reassure the casualty. Please make sure you reassure this casualty because he needs the psychological attention of you. You have to make sure that the casualty is composed, he's at ease because of your TLC, tender love and care. Reassuring will help the casualty regain more and more. Okay? After bandaging the casualty, you split it, you band it, you refer the casualty, transport the casualty to the hospital. How do you transport the casualty? It also matters. You have to transport the casualty in a way that he will not feel more and more pain and will not sustain more and more injuries on the leg or in other parts of the body. Refer the casualty to the hospital. Please, if you are a first aider, don't attempt to put the bone back to its normal position. You are not an orthopedic. That work can be done in the hospital by an orthopedic. Do first aid, only first aid. Reassure, split, bandage the casualty, and then refer. Other work will be done by a professional doctor.